Katie Price's whirlwind wedding in Dubai was always destined to dominate headlines. A former glamour model known for living life loudly and unapologetically, Price has never been one to follow convention, especially when it comes to love. But new details emerging from the man who officiated her fourth marriage suggest that even by her own standards. In fact, according to celebrant DJ Daryl Ree, the wedding almost happened a full day earlier. This ceremony unfolded at breakneck speed. What ultimately took place as an intimate ceremony at a luxury Dubai resort was behind the scenes, a rapidly rearranged event shaped by urgency, spontaneity, and a couple determined not to wait another moment before saying, "I do." At the center of it all were Katie Price, 47, and businessman Lee Andrews, 43, two people who, by all accounts, were entirely certain about one thing. They wanted to be married, and they wanted it done now. A wedding planned in hours, not weeks. DJ Daryl Ree, the officiant who conducted the ceremony, has now spoken publicly about the unusual timeline behind the marriage. According to him, Price and Andrews initially intended to tie the knot a day earlier than they eventually did. The plan, however, quickly unraveled. The fast-tracked nature of the arrangements meant that when the original schedule fell through, the entire ceremony had to be reorganized at short notice. With little time to secure a guest list or formal witnesses, the couple improvised. Nearby hotel guests, people they had reportedly met casually by the pool earlier, were invited to stand in and witness one of the most significant moments of their lives. It was, in many ways, a wedding stripped of spectacle and replaced with immediacy. Despite the chaos, Daryl said there was never any doubt about the couple's determination. If anything, the rushed timeline seemed to reflect their emotional state rather than undermine it. They were absolutely sure, he suggested, there was no hesitation. The setting, luxury, intimacy, and last-minute decisions. The ceremony ultimately took place at the one only the Palm Resort. A five-star destination on Dubai's iconic Palm Jumeirah, known for its exclusivity and privacy, the resort offers nightly rates that can soar to around £1,500. A stark contrast to the simplicity of the wedding itself. Only 5 people are believed to have witnessed the vows. 3 were hotel staff members. The other 2 were guests who happened to be nearby, drawn into the moment by circumstance rather than invitation. Yet, according to Daryl, the lack of a traditional audience did nothing to diminish the emotional gravity of the occasion. The room felt full, he implied, not with people, but with intention. They were inseparable. Daryl's first meeting with Katie and Lee before the ceremony set the tone for what would follow. Rather than nerves or tension, he recalled a lighthearted, affectionate atmosphere. The couple were giggling, hugging, holding hands, and laughing together. They appeared, in his words, completely inseparable. It was not the image of a couple rushing into marriage out of impulse or pressure. Instead, it was the portrait of 2 people deeply absorbed in one another, seemingly oblivious to everything else around them, including the ticking clock. As time ran short, however, practical matters had to be addressed. Daryl explained that he had asked Lee to send over key personal details to help tailor the ceremony. Small touches that would make the vows feel personal rather than procedural. He requested a voice note outlining what the couple wanted included. The information didn't arrive until late in the evening, close to midnight. Among the last-minute details were references to tattoos and other intimate symbols the couple hoped to weave into their vows, markers of identity. Traditional words, unfiltered emotion. Despite the frantic preparation, the ceremony itself followed a traditional structure. Commitment. There were clear vows. There were formal questions, and shared meaning. And there were unmistakable answers. Daryl recalled that whenever he posed the standard marital questions, Lee's responses were anything but reserved. "I'm very in love." The words were emphatic, unpolished, and sincere, delivered without hesitation. "I 100% do." "I do," Lee reportedly said. For those present, the moment carried weight far beyond its modest scale. The small gathering, rather than feeling insufficient, seemed to heighten the intimacy. It was a declaration. It was not a performance. Addressing doubt and speculation given Katie Price's highly public personal history, speculation about the relationship was inevitable. But Daryl was quick to push back against any suggestion that the marriage lacked authenticity. From his perspective, both Katie and Lee appeared genuine, confident, and emotionally aligned. During private conversations ahead of the ceremony, Lee reportedly spoke openly about the connection he felt with Katie. He described it as immediate, something neither of them had experienced before. There was no sense, Daryl suggested, of uncertainty or second-guessing. Only certainty, compressed into an unusually short time frame. Life after "I do." Following the ceremony, the newlyweds began preparing for their honeymoon. With Katie continuing to document her life online as she has for years, in recent posts, the TV personality shared images and videos highlighting her latest cosmetic enhancements, including before and after shots of new filler treatments. In one clip, she posed confidently for the camera, showcasing a large diamond ring gifted by Lee, set to Whitney Houston's Run to You. "I feel so happy with the results," Katie told followers, describing herself as beach-ready ahead of their next getaway. "My bum looks amazing. I love it," she said candidly, explaining that she had opted for additional filler and was excited about upcoming holiday plans. For fans, the updates were familiar, another chapter in Katie Price's unapologetically public life. For critics, they reignited debates about image, impulse, and permanence. Yet those closest to the wedding insist that beneath the noise, the decision to marry came from a place of clarity. The road to "I do" may have been unconventional, rushed, and imperfect, but for Katie and Lee, it was exactly right.